Today we're breaking down something that rarely gets talked about in plain language: white racial identity development. Why? Because while we spend so much time trying to survive racism, very few people stop to ask, how do white people even come to understand their own racial identity? And how does that process affect us as Black people? There's a model that explains this, developed by Dr. Janet Helms, a Black psychologist. It breaks down how white people move through stages of racial identity development, and whether they know it or not, their position in these stages directly impacts how they see us, treat us, and uphold or challenge the system of white supremacy. White folks at this stage don't really see race. They think everyone's the same, or they've been taught not to notice race. This is the so-called colorblind stage. They start noticing racism exists, and it creates guilt or confusion. They realize whiteness comes with privilege. Some retreat into racist thinking, blaming people of color instead of facing the truth. This is where overt racism often shows itself. They want to help, but it's surface level. It can be through charity work, helping the poor Black community, but still centered straight on them. They actively learn about racism, whiteness, and how to decenter themselves. This is the start of real growth. They fully understand racism as a system, commit to anti-racist action, and no longer see themselves as the center of the universe. Now, family, here's why we need to know this. Black people live every day under the weight of white racial identity. Whether they're in denial, whether they're fragile, whether they're guilty, or actively anti-racist, it shapes the environments we live in, like our schools, jobs, politics, even friendships. Understanding this isn't about excusing racism, but about recognizing patterns. Knowing what stage somebody is in is deciding how or if we deal with them. At the end of the day, white racial identity development is about them waking up to the system they built and they benefit from. But for us, the lesson is clear. We cannot wait for white folks to finish their identity homework before we secure our liberation. We must build, resist, and thrive no matter what stage they are in. And family, I want to hear your thoughts. Have you seen these stages play out in your own life, at work, or in relationships? Drop your experience in the comments. And if you're here for the truth with no filters, subscribe to Afrovision Network. This is not